It's 3 a.m. I haven't been able to sleep for days. I swear I just heard it again. A whisper. It said my name. I never should have brought it home. Okay, so you're probably wondering what that was all about. To really understand, we have to go back 2 weeks to the day I made the biggest mistake of my life, and it only cost me $1. It all started at this huge neighborhood-wide bundle sale. I love hunting for weird, vintage stuff, and this place was a gold mine. Tucked away at the end of a long, quiet street, there was one last sale. It was just a single, folding table run by a very old woman. She had maybe 5 items on it, all of them covered in a thick layer of dust, and right in the middle was the doll. She was porcelain, with these piercing glass eyes and a little blue dress that had definitely seen better days. It was creepy, sure, but also beautiful in a strange, forgotten way. I asked her, how much? She looked at the doll, then back at me, and her eyes just looked sad. You can have her for $1, she said, almost like she was pleading with me. She just needs a new home. I thought it was a steal. I paid her, and as I walked away, I thought I heard her mutter something under her breath. It sounded like, I'm sorry. I should have turned back right then. I should have listened to that feeling twisting in my gut. But I didn't. I just laughed it off and took her home. I named her Lily. For the first couple of days, nothing happened. I put her on a shelf in my living room with some of my other weird collectibles. She was just a creepy-looking doll. But then, little things started happening. I'd come home from work and get the distinct feeling that I wasn't alone. I'd be watching TV and suddenly feel a cold spot form right next to me on the couch. Then I started noticing the doll. I'm one of those people who's meticulous about how things are arranged, but Lily was never quite where I left her. Her head would be tilted just a tiny bit more to the left. Her hand, which was resting in her lap, would now be pointed slightly out. It was subtle, so subtle that I kept telling myself I was imagining things. I was living through the kind of stuff you hear about in stories of haunted dolls, but I was just in complete denial. If you're still here with us, a simple like on this video would mean the world. It truly helps us keep going. About a week in, things went from just being weird to being genuinely frightening. The whispers started. Late at night, when the house was dead silent, I'd hear it. A faint, breathy sound, like someone whispering from across the room. I could never make out any words, but I knew it was there. Then, other objects started moving, not just the doll anymore. I came into the kitchen one morning to find a single cabinet door wide open, the one where I keep my knives. I live alone. I always lock my doors. There was no explanation. It felt like those stories you hear about famous haunted dolls like Robert the Doll, where things would get moved around the house and the doll would always get the blame. I started to feel like I wasn't in control of my own home anymore. One night, I even set up my phone to record audio, hoping I could finally catch the whispers. When I listened back the next morning, all I could hear was static, and then, for just a split second, a little girl's giggle. If you're still here with us, a simple like on this video would mean the world. It truly helps us keep going. Last night was the breaking point. I was in bed desperately trying to get some sleep when I heard a loud crash from the living room. My heart was pounding out of my chest. I grabbed the heaviest thing I could find nearby, a textbook, and slowly crept out of my bedroom. And there, shattered all over the floor, was the heavy photo frame that had been hanging on the wall. But that wasn't the worst part. Lying right in the middle of the broken glass, perfectly untouched, was Lily the doll. She had been on a shelf all the way across the room. There is no way she could have just fallen there. She was placed there. This is the kind of direct, menacing activity people claim happens with dolls like Annabelle, where the object is said to cause fear and even physical harm. Her one good eye seemed to be staring right at me. That's when I grabbed my camera. I had to start recording, had to tell someone what was happening. And that's when I heard it clearly, for the very first time. A whisper right behind me. It said my name. So, that brings us to right now. I haven't slept. I've got the doll locked in a closet, but I can still feel it in the house. I feel like I'm being watched constantly. I honestly don't know what to do. Should I try to research its history? Should I try to find that old woman? Or should I just get rid of it? Burn it, maybe? Please, let me know in the comments. Have any of you ever gone through something like this? I'm starting to believe that some objects can carry their history with them. Sometimes, maybe that history is tragic, or maybe it's something else. That old woman wasn't just selling a doll for $1, she was passing something on. She was desperate. And now I finally understand why. I brought this thing into my life, and now I'm afraid it's never going to leave. Be careful what you bring into your home. You never know what might be attached to it.